In this video, we'll go over the process of defining a shape thread job inside SolidCAM. But before we start, a thread is considered to be a shape thread if the shape that you are trying to produce cannot be found in the catalogs of the tool manufacturers. A shape thread can be created with a tool that is exact negative of the shape of the thread profile. But the problem with this method is that these kind of tools can be very expensive to order since they need to be made especially for the shape that you need. SolidCAM, on the other hand, offers you to work with such tools as 3D STL models, but also gives you a possibility to use standard tools such as profile and grooving inserts that can fit the shape geometry and cut it in multiple passes. In order to use a shape thread cycle definition inside a post-processor needs to be defined in a way to support both cycle and manual way of programming. So for example, if we start a threading job here, you can note that we can define only a geometry for a regular thread job. So let's go and close our job here and open up our VMID. And inside controller definition, during definition for our threading cycle, instead of cycle, let's pick both. You can now save and exit. And if you go now to the threading job, you can note that now we have a shape thread section. Now let's close our job and do the necessary preparations for our job. Here you can clearly see that this is a shape thread since we cannot do this shape with the regular threading tools. In order to use a shape thread job, we need a sketch of this shape. To do this, we'll need to dive into some SolidWorks options. Let's go here in our part, select front plane, and do a sketch. For our sketch, we can select Convert Entities and use Intersection Curve, which will intersect the front plane with all of these spiral faces that we select now. So let's select all the faces and confirm our selection. As you can see, SolidWorks here made two intersection curves, the upper one and the lower one. We don't need the lower one, so we will delete it. And now you can note that the last shape here is not complete, and also the first shape is not complete. So we need to complete the first and the last one in order to create our job. Also, for the first one, we will extend one more shape in front so we can start in front of the part. So what we will do is we can copy one full shape from here. Let's go and select all the lines that form a shape. These are the lines. Let's go Control C and paste them, for example, somewhere in space, somewhere here. Also, we can paste another one since we will be needing 3 of those. And we can paste another one. So we have 3 shapes. Let's go and select the first one, move our entities, pick this point, and move it here. Let's go and confirm. So we have our first one completed. Let's do second one. Select everything, move from here, and connect here. Confirm this. And for this last one, we'll be using this point here. So let's select all, move our entities, and we'll select this point here and copy it here. Let's confirm. And now we have our shape. We can go and exit our sketch. Everything is here. Everything is in our part. We can rename the sketch if we want to. And we can move on to define our shape thread job. Thanks for watching this video and see you in the next one.